Mr. Son, you are looking at the world from a rather special perspective that involves big money, big trends, and global outlooks. What are your thoughts on the key obstacle facing the Chinese economy right now? I recently watched a very famous movie that deeply impressed me, called Upstream, directed by Songxiangqian. It tells the story of a middle-aged software engineer, what we call a code farmer, and how he delivers food, makes a living, and turns his life around after losing his job. In fact, there are many such people in China. We have nearly 12 million people delivering food, and nearly 200 million people in flexible employment like delivery workers, couriers, ride-share drivers, and truck drivers. In fact, Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen do not represent China. China is a folded society. If you look at an inland province in China, a county with a population of 300,000 located 200 to 300 kilometers away from the provincial capital, its standard of living, industrial structure, GDP figures, and lifestyle, you can roughly understand how 600 million and 900 million Chinese people live, because these 900 million people are the real China. So can technology save the country? Yes, it can, but technology cannot establish a nation. Ultimately, technology is also a means, serving the purposes of people and their consumption. So I think in this process, we must transform. How do you describe and present harvest capital to investors and partners? I have a strong interest in macroeconomics and am eager to understand what will happen to China's economy in the future, as well as the world economy. So I believe the future of China's economy definitely lies in consumption. The history of world economic development also proves that any developed economy ultimately succeeds through consumption, similar to market success. Why does Harvest Capital choose consumption? It's because China has the largest single economic entity in the world, with the largest market entity, a vast market of 1.4 billion people. Therefore, investing in Chinese consumption is definitely worthwhile, because Harvest focuses on investing in essential, high-frequency, livelihood-related products that have infrastructure capabilities. The focus is on essential goods, so we also believe in investing in these essential consumer goods, investing in such fast-moving consumer goods, investing in products that meet the daily needs of 80% of ordinary Chinese people, fulfilling their basic 24-hour daily life needs, and creating products with the ultimate cost-effectiveness. So, such matters are also very significant. Americans have their own Coca-Cola, the British have their own Dyson, the Japanese have their own Itoen, so Chinese people will definitely have their own consumer brands. In fact, Chinese people deserve to have a better life. There's not much significance in stock trading because it's a zero-sum game. In Chinese terms, it's like playing mahjong. If 4 people play together for a long time, there are wins and losses among them, but all we're really doing is killing time. The goal of Jiahua is to support Chinese consumption, support Chinese brands, support Chinese industries, integrate into the everyday lives of the people, support Chinese society, and assist national brands. I believe that such a life will have meaning and value. How many companies have you invested in so far? And what kind of result? We have invested in about 3 or 4 Chinese consumer brands, mainly in the areas of food and beverages, cosmetics, and dining. I'm afraid it's hard to find an investment institution in China more focused on the mass consumer sector than we are. Of course, over the years, the results we have achieved are good. In the field of Chinese consumer results, our returns have been quite favorable. I believe we should thank the Chinese market and the 1.4 billion people in China. Our rapidly developing economy has provided us with many consumer choices and the power for brand growth. Therefore, during this process, Harvest Capital has indeed benefited from the era's beta. We remain firmly optimistic about China, as there are still many opportunities in the future.